here with you live from Washington, D.C., and Paul in Woodinville, Washington, listening on KBCS. Hey, Paul, what's up?
Hi, Tom. Thoughts occur as I was listening. I was going to talk to you about Rounds versus the United States, but these things occurred to me while I was listening. This Hobby Lobby case is so twisted, and this is what comes up. I've never heard anybody really mention this, that they keep talking about, because of their religious beliefs, they don't want to pay for your abortifacient contraceptives.
Right.
Well, wait a minute. They're not. The health insurance that you get for them, you get because you work for them.
Right. It's part of your compensation.
They're taking part of your money and holding it back and buying a group plan.
Right.
So this is what happened in the oral briefs was Justice Sotomayor asked the Hobby Lobby lawyer, well, why don't you just not offer health insurance and just pay the tax if you don't want to comply with the Obamacare regulations? And the answer to that was, well, our religious beliefs say that we should offer health insurance, and besides, we want to become a competitive employer, which is what Alito cited in this. So here's what happens. Okay, so it's your religious belief that you want to offer health insurance and also comply with the law, and you want to be a competitive employer up to a point.
Right.
You don't want to be competitive when it comes to we have to offer these. We're not really paying for them. It's your compensation. But then look what happens. So now you work for Hobby Lobby and you have to take what they give you. And guess what else? You can't just say, the heck with them. I'm going to go on the exchange and buy my own. You can't because you're not eligible. Mm-hmm. You're not eligible for Obamacare because you already get health insurance through your employer.
Right. Right.
The health insurance your employer chose for you.
So suck it up. Pay that. 30, 50, 70, whatever it is a month, or $500 for to have the IUD installed. Just pay it yourself. Tough luck.
Yeah, pay it yourself, even though you have insurance.
Right.
And the whole thing comes. It's. So
I got a question for you, Paul. You're a student of the Supreme Court and the Constitution. Yeah. If I'm reading the Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 1993 correctly, this law, which says, it's very short actually, government shall not substantially burden a person's exercise of religion, even if the burden results from a rule of general applicability. Number one. Number two, government may substantially burden a person's exercise of religion only if it demonstrates the application of the burden to the person is in furtherance of a compelling government interest and is the least restrictive means of furthering that compelling interest. And then under judicial relief, this is where they're basically regulating the Supreme Court, as Article 3 provides. They say a person whose religious exercise has been burdened in violation of this section may assert that violation as a claim or defense in a judicial proceeding and obtain appropriate relief against the government. Standing to assert a claim or defense under the section shall be governed by the general rules of standing under Article 3 of the Constitution. So in the Hobby Lobby case, Alito cited this law, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, saying we have to rule very narrowly as a consequence of this law, and this is why we're ruling the way we are, just about birth control rather than more generally about whether men can wear beards or whatever, and therefore don't take anything more out of this. But isn't this law? Shane's got this theory that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. That this law, in a way, and in the Hobby Lobby case, in a way, was sort of the opposite of Marbury versus Madison. Marbury versus Madison was striking down a law that regulated the judiciary. It was the Judiciary Act of 97, 98?
98, yeah.
And the Supreme Court said, you can't regulate the judiciary. You can't regulate us.
Right, yeah.
Although, Article 3, Section 2 says explicitly that Congress can. But in this case, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act is regulating the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court just ruled, hey, we have to rule this way because we're subject to regulation. All right, didn't they just reverse Marbury?
Well, yeah, I was kind of making that point last week, that it's so tangled up. Yeah. I mean, that is, in a sense, it's
so if they just reversed Marbury, can we now go after judicial review?
Well, yeah, and I'll go back to what I was calling about initially was, Reynolds versus United States, that was the one that challenged the Morrill Anti-Bigamy Act, Justin Morrill, Morrill,
right,
of 1862 that President Lincoln signed. Justin Morrill also wrote the Land-Grant College Act. But in 1862, they passed the Morrill Anti-Bigamy Act, and it was targeting the Mormon Church because the Mormon Church was amassing mountains of cash and claiming, we're all married, we're all one big happy family. Right. And they weren't paying any taxes. They were abusing the law to protect churches from taxation by amassing giant amounts of cash. So and
amassing giant families with one man and 10, 12, 15 wives.
Right, and then well, you have to read about it, but it's a little convoluted. But yeah, that was it. So is that one open now for review?
Right.
Is this an undue burden?
Right. Should Reynolds be revisited? Yeah.
Well, why not? Because next year they're going to hear marriage equality. They're going to hear that by next June.
Sure.
I'm really afraid the way these guys rule that they don't make a lick of sense. It's all very personal and all very political. I mean, that's what judicial activism is. And this court, Samuel Alito, is about as activist as I've in this Hobby Lobby case as I've heard of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, in the union case, what was the name of the union case? Harris v. Quinn. In that case, okay, here's what Alito said from the bench. Oh, we don't have time for it. Okay, I'll play the clip after we get back. But Paul, thanks for the call. Great to hear. I absolutely agree with you. These guys have gone off the rail. They have gone off the rail. We are supposed to have what the founders envisioned and what the people believe we have. What they teach us in civics class is that we have a constitutionally limited, representative, democratic, we vote for the majority, republic, right? But instead, we have a constitutional monarchy, and the monarchs are the Supreme Court.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
And what those monarchs have done, especially since 76 with the Buckley ruling, is they've said, now we're also an oligarchy. The oligarchs get to own the politicians.